must be in heaven. 'Cause look what I found, you're like a falling star that shines all around. So we've been near and we've been far. There's no place like being in love. And baby, that's where we are.
Unmute yourself, Mr. Callies. We can't hear you.
Oh, thank you, Charles.
You're
Welcome, everybody, to Two Pastors and a Guest. This is Pastor Brian Callies with Brian Callies Ministries. And we're trying to come together again today. We're going to have a wonderful night for you. We got some wonderful guests, some great topics. The topic is basically teaching in turmoil. So teaching in the midst of this new changes and that kind of thing that we've gotten to do, and how that's impacting teachers and educators, and also what it's doing for the students. And we're just going to talk and have a discussion together. So we welcome you and ask you to please join us. And Facebook Live is what we're on right now, and also YouTube Live. So make sure you like the channel and come and join the conversation. So we have some great guests with us here today. We have what I call Mom. So you guys know Charles Matthews already over there, but this is Charles's mom, which, since Charles my brother, that's my mom, right? So that's what we look at it. So Erma, McCollough, just wanted to say thank you and welcoming you to the show.
You would.
And then we also have well, Charles, why don't you introduce the other two guests that we have tonight?
All right. Hello, everybody, again, and to God be all the glory. It's an awesome night. We're looking forward to discussing some great, awesome things to get an understanding from the educator's point of view, and with everything going on and how it's affecting maybe the school system, the students, and things like that. But I'd like to introduce Auntie Mattye Kinney. Hey, T. Mattye, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And also my other auntie, Miss Barbara Brady. T. Barbara, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right.
Glad to be here.
All right, Mr. Callies.
So you guys may not be able to see Barbara. So Barbara's phoning in for us tonight. So she was joining us by phone, so you won't see her video, but we'll make sure we give her some time, and we'd love to hear from you, Barbara. So thank you so much. So again, we're just going to sit here and have a discussion. We've talked about already in the last several episodes. For those of you who haven't seen them, you're welcome to go back and review them sometime later. But we've talked a lot about the COVID or the coronavirus and how that's affecting people and things like that. So tonight we're going to switch topics a little bit, and we're going to talk tonight about teaching and how teaching has maybe been changed here recently, since now everybody's kind of working from home and schools aren't allowed to kind of come together, and students have been sent home and that kind of thing, and just talk with teachers for a little bit. So let's start off in this whole subject. How is everybody? Tell us real quickly about where you've taught, what you do, what's been like being a teacher, that kind of thing. Mom, you want to get us started on that? Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
First, I started out as an interventionist, where I was pulling out groups of 5 students that was low in reading and try to bring them up to their level.
Wow.
But the past 4 years, I've been a substitute teacher, and I just substitute when the teachers are out. I'm in the classroom. But this year I've been there ever since day one. Ever since school started, I've been there.
And where's there? What's the name of the school?
Oak Haven Elementary, Memphis, Tennessee.
Wonderful.
On Bishop Bridge Road.
So you focused on kids that were having a little bit difficulty in the reading and that kind of thing, and help them to get to a better place? Good for you. I hear that there's some statistics that go around that if kids don't read by a certain level, that there's an outcome that might be, and we can try to, help with that by getting kids to read. And I see Mattye holding up 3, so that means 3rd grade.
Yes.
All right. And Mattye, you can speak up if you'd like. Are you there?
I am, but I'm gonna let Erma finish. Had you finished, Erma? Well, I'm retired, as I told you, 12 years as a classroom teacher, math and science.
Wow.
And most of my teaching was in a gifted and talented school. But still, there was same dynamics with the children. Children are children, wherever they are, and whatever school they're in. After this school, I went to administration. I retired as the assistant principal of another gifted and talented school, for which they were all my hearts. It was just like a family. I couldn't see it any other way than having a family. And believe it or not, I don't remember being sick. If I left home sick when I got to school, I felt great, because that was where I wanted to be, and that was where my aspiration was. That's where I got the, I guess, the power to soar for that day.
Wow. So you really found your mission and your purpose in this.
I found my purpose.
Wow.
My purpose is, with children. I taught at college for a summer, but I still realized that my passion is with children of all ages.
Wow.
And it's just been, I was thinking that I may have been bored when I retired, but I have a grandson, and I've been at his school since day one.
He doesn't stand a chance, right? You're going to teach one way or another.
He's 9th grade. Before then, he was kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, and daycare. So my 12 years of retirement has been right walking along with him.
Wow.
And I've just never had a dull moment. If I'm at home, I also some days I'm at home feeling some kind of way, like lonely. I just get them, go over to the school and just help out. So you can imagine how I feel right now.
It is in your, teaching sounds like it is just in your blood. It is what you do.
And you can imagine how I feel right now, not being able to put hands on them.
Yeah, I can imagine that. And it must be really kind of frustrating, but disappointing, and
yes, it's a disconnect. It's like leaving your own children, because we're there, and I'm going to let Barbara talk, because she feels in the
T. Barbara. T. Barbara, listen, a question for you is, being that I think you're more active in the still in the teaching than everyone else. How has it affected you as a teacher, and being that teachers are also just like school parent, also to the children. So that means that you're not just a teacher, but you have you have a relationship with the children. So how have that affected that part of it, when it comes to you not having that opportunity to give that personal, a one-on-one teacher parent type of love to them?
Well, with me teaching the kindergarten, which is their 5 and 6 year olds, it has a big effect on them, because with them things are hands on, and it makes a difference when you can't see their faces, or they can't see your faces. So most of the time they react off of facial expressions, or and I can't see their faces to know where, hey, I got this. So it really makes a difference, because I'm not only their teacher, I'm everything to them, because they're babies. And I want to interact with them instead of, nowadays everything is on the computer.
Hey, Barbara, tell us a little bit about what you teach. Where do you teach at?
Oh, I'm a kindergarten teacher. I've taught kindergarten I started as an assistant teacher for 9 years. And I've been teaching kindergarten for 25 years. I've been a teacher for 25 years. So, yes, and I've only taught kinder, so my heart is with the babies.
Well, I kind of hear a common theme throughout all of you, that it's almost like you're a second mom to these kids, in the sense that it's more than just teaching them. You build up relationships with them. and trying to help them. Is that right? Am I hearing that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
So imagine the kids are missing you guys like crazy too then.
They
Yeah,
are.
they are.
Yes.
They are.
I've had some call me and ask me, can they come back to school?
Oh,
Well, you know, it's almost as if they're thinking that they're not in school because I don't want them there. You know, so it hurts, you know, because you want to see them.
no, sure.
And I miss them. I just miss the interaction with them.
Well, I'll bet you do.
And Brian,
Yes, ma'am.
also, when I'm teaching and the students want to ask a question, they would say, Mama or Grandmama. They make a mistake. They call me Mama or Grandmama. Then they would correct themselves and say, "Oh, I mean Miss McCollough."
And I can
And
imagine.
the other day, I was walking in the neighborhood,
Mhm.
and a little boy ran.
Stop and start. This ain't gonna work. It's not. This ain't gonna work.
A little boy ran and caught us, and he said, "Hey, Miss McCollough," and I said, "Hey." I said, "What are you doing in Mississippi?" And he said, "Well, I'm at the house there," and she told me the other student's name. And so when he ran back to the other student said, I told you that was Miss McCollough. And they were just so happy to see me.
Yeah.
But I miss interacting with the students also, because when I'm teaching, if something they don't understand, and I kind of break it down to them, and seem like a light bulb come on in their head, and they say, "Oh, I got it. I got it."
That's an awesome feeling.
Yes.
That's an awesome feeling.
I can imagine. And
Mhm.
and like I said, and I can imagine also it's because of the relationship as not just a teacher, but as parent, you know, as teachers, you know, teachers as parent, that you all have built with the students, you know, that and showing them that love, it causes them to have that love back for you all. And so it's like when you're out of their presence, you know, they missing that. And watch this.
Mhm.
I can think that the biggest of that time, when you think about it, even being students, is really spent there at school with you all. Because by the time they get home, they're not spending as much time with their parent, because a few hours and then it's bedtime. A few hours homework and then it's bedtime. So imagine the biggest of their time was spent with you all. So that's why, you know, they probably done grown so much on you all, because you're getting more of their time and attention because of what you're giving them than home is.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know.
So
And being
no, go ahead, Barbara.
being at home, you know, we're used to the structure of the day. I'm at home and I'm thinking, okay, now we'll be doing ELA.
Right,
And then there's a time we're doing math. Then we're doing science. We're doing social studies. So we miss that time with them, because those are, you know, we're used to that structure. And I'm sure the kids are missing that time as well.
Yeah, yeah. And Brian, can I share this real fast?
Oh yeah.
Look, and you know, my mother, because that's my mother-in-law. That's just like my mom, and those are my aunties. I'm just like my auntie. So listen. Mine too now. That's right. Okay, all right. We ain't gonna fight over, but I'm just saying I had them first. But anyway, listen here. They are awesome prayer warriors, women of God. And listen here. Now, they ain't just teachers. So in the school system, they are teachers in the gospel. And listen here, you talking about awesome, man. Look, man, they every morning, they on point with it. They on point, they calling each other, and they sharing the word and spreading the word and evangelizing and expounding on things. I just wanted to share that with you, and it's probably even for some of the other people out there, because see, sometimes people think that people only got one thing that they do. But these women here, man, they are awesome, man. They are unpredictable. So, you know, I just wanted to share that, because I want everybody to know that about them too. They ain't just teachers in the school system. They're teachers in the word of God, and they love God, and they heart is sold out to them.
Awesome.
Amen.
And you know what, nephew?
Yes, ma'am.
Pastor Charles?
Yes, ma'am.
Being those prayer warriors and studying, it is helping to keep us strong in being able to go through this disconnect with our children, with our students, with our parents, because we know that God got a plan.
Right. That's it. That's it. And that's important.
And knowing that, it helps us. And when the three of us are talking along with the others that's on that line,
right,
we can help lift each other up. It's just like kind of teaching a little bit too.
That's right. That's right.
It kind of brings back that teacher mode some too.
Right.
But on that note that, you know, talking about what Erma was talking about, how they call her grandmom and mom. My grandson attends the school where I am there most of the time, 50% of the day, or at least 3 of the 5 days. They run up to me, hey grandmama, and he'll tell me, that's not your grandmama, that's my grandmama. And I told him, you know, I'm big enough to be all of y'all grandmama. So we don't have to fuss over it, but you know, that just show you a relationship. Education comes through having a relationship. You can teach all day long, but if you don't have a relationship, they're not learning.
Wow. And that's
all. Again, education comes, what'd you say?
You learn through relationship. Education comes with the relationship. Wow. If you don't have a relationship with the child, they're not going to learn that much for you. And if they know that you care about them, they're going to do everything that they can do to prove that they are learning what you're teaching them.
Wow.
As they say, yep.
Now, if you know, when you say that, man, you know, there's a saying, kids don't care how much you know.
That's what I was about to say, Barbara. That was next. Go ahead on with it. That's exactly.
Yeah,
Repeat that, would you, Barbara?
They know how much you care.
They don't care how much you know
until they know how much you care.
Wow.
That's
awesome. That's deep.
That's great.
And that's a great thing, because that says a lot for you all as teachers and educators. Y'all ain't just educators, you know, y'all are a body that have really connected to these children in every way, to every outlet. And the important part is to give them your heart so they'll know that you love them, so you can teach them.
That's right.
That's awesome. That's
and
awesome.
Another key thing is that, and I know both my sisters there, parent can call you any time of the day or night once you get home. At the end of the day, that bell rings and let's say the school day is over, but our interaction is never over.
Never over.
Wow. Have an opportunity to call me while they're doing their homework. Call me on weekends if it was something needed. And their parent as well. So we became a big bonded, blended family. Not just teacher, student, and parent. We became a blended family.
Wow.
So education, and I must boast, our school was #1 AYP last year.
All right.
#1 school.
All right.
I give God some praise on that one. That was awesome.
Yes.
It is.
Yes. So tell me, Miss Brady, tell me this. So what about it right now is the most important thing that you think is really being excluded or missing, you know, from what you normally do when you're there at school with your student?
Well, now, you know, we're in it, when we're at school, we're interacting together, we're learning together. Right now, this is new to us, so we're not equipped with we have some technology that we can do, like with the Zoom and things, but there's a difference when you're one-on-one, when you're sitting there together, you know, and you're teaching, and you can see their faces and you can feel if they know this or if they're really getting this. Like my sister Erma said, when they're sitting there with you, there's a lot, you can see there's a smile on their face. Because they, you know, with me teaching kindergarten, they'll say, well, I can't read. But once they sit down with you and you start learning different skills and they're learning how to read, oh, I can read. Wow. You know, and it's you know, most of the time, the kids at home now, most parents are working. So they can't interact with their kids the way we would if they were at school. And when they come home, they're tired. You know, they may put them on the computer. We have a program that they can do on the computer, but the parents are not interacting in there. when they're at school, they're with us,
Yeah.
and we can see what they're doing.
So are you thinking that the students now have almost less interaction because now without the teacher in the picture at home, they're just not getting as much direct interaction for these kind of things? Is
Correct.
that? Yeah.
Correct.
I would
I would say so, because the parents just don't have the time. You know, they have to work, and they do what they can. I'm not saying that they don't, like you said, there is less interaction. They do what they can, but once they get home, they're tired. They have to fix a meal, you know, and there would be more if they were at school.
Yeah.
Preparing them for the spring. Yeah.
So what would you say to the parent right now, Mama, T. Mattye, and T. Barbara, to my T, so I can call them the list. What would you say to the parent right now if you can kind of give them some kind of advice while the children are at home to what they can probably do to help enhance the things with the children, that because you all have experience with them more so at school. So what, and being educators, what would you, if you could say, talk to the parents directly right now, what would you, advice would you give them about helping along with still keeping the children up to somewhat part?
Well, the main thing that I would say is read. And let them read a book of their choice, something that interests them.
Okay. Makes sense.
Because when they can read, then they can go further into the studies. But it's very important to learn how to read.
Okay. In
order to be able to pass tests. And you learn more when you're reading.
Okay.
So do we have a real problem in that, Mom? That kids are not learning at a young age to read at the proper level? Is that a real big issue?
Yes, it is.
And what's the solution? What do we do to help fix that?
Well, encourage them to read. And like I say, you read a book right now that they're at home. If they just read a book that they're interested in, that would encourage them to read.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see.
Mattye,
you said that there was a magic number, and I've heard it before, but what was that number? Like if they don't read?
Well, what it is, it's, and this is not Mattyology, it is true.
Mattyology.
But, I mean, it's a true statement, but it's not, you can find one that makes that not truth over the board. But it says if you are not reading on third grade, reading on level at third grade, the prison system start building bedrooms for you.
Wow.
Because when you can't read, they're already planning for you to go out into the world and be a criminal.
Wow.
Yeah, by the third grade, they're already planning that out.
That is something that we just want to take back, and that's why they have interventions into the classroom now with reading to encourage the children to read. And like Erma said, read something that they like, newspaper, magazines, whatever.
Wow.
Have interaction. Don't just let them look at it, have interaction with them. But then we have a statement here that we say, the more you read, the more you know. The more you know, the more places you can go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Dr. Seuss.
Tell me about it.
That's beautiful.
All right. T. Barbara, what do you got to say on it? You got anything you want to add to that?
Well, Charles, that's where my job is important. Because I teach kindergartens. I teach them most of them come from their homes, or they're coming from daycare, or different places. But our job is important, and we take that to heart. We're teaching everything, every way that we know how. Phonics, phonemic awareness. We're teaching it all. We want our kids to become good readers. And I would say to the parents, you are your child's first teacher.
Okay.
Work with them at home. just have a few minutes, and with the kindergartners, it doesn't take long. Just do 15 or 20 minutes. Do it in 15 or 20-minute intervals. But work with your child. It starts when they're young, and it spreads abroad. We take our job serious. In kindergarten, we teach.
Right. Okay.
Oh
And
yeah, I'm sure.
yeah, and I know
We got
this.
just a quick commercial break there, Charles, and we'll come back
Okay.
right and hit it real hard.
Okay.
Guess we're here with teachers, Miss Erma, Miss Mattye, and Miss Barbara, and we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we have some great questions for them, and some of them are about we've kind of how God's plays a role in their lives, both the teachers and in the children's lives, and then a few other great things. So y'all come back with us real quick, and let's hit this commercial break. And you're watching Two Pastors and a Guest, Brian Callies and Brian Callies Ministries. We got Pastor Charles Matthews as well, but we just have our commercial guest spot here. So I will introduce Laura Lee Falaska, and she is, did I get you up? There you are.
I'm here.
There you are. So Laura Lee, and she is with 901 Catering, and go ahead and take it away, Laura Lee. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, Brian, thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time this evening. Of course, we are in the group right now that's affected with the COVID, and it's pretty much put our business to a complete halt until we can start getting together again. We are currently working with a lot of proposals for future events, especially weddings, and even some holiday parties are starting to inquire. Of course, handling and taking care of our current clients with contracts. But we were already ready for the COVID due to the type of service that we offer on a day-to-day basis to begin with. So we easily met a need for Methodist Hospital last month in needing to feed 500 of our frontline people over there. So we are ready for that call when people need that service. And we are definitely looking forward to getting back out and throwing the events and taking care of the celebrations that are to come.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I wanted to ask you real quickly. So there we go. I think I did that right. There you go. I wanted to ask you if so. You guys are familiar with how to deal with the COVID situation and how to handle that, because you've actually delivered to hospitals, right? You guys serve hospitals as well.
And we were already prepared to do that because we're actually in that environment on an ongoing basis. We service a lot of our corporate community on an ongoing basis. Our company is 10 years old. We've been servicing the Mid-South. But being able to prepare those specialty one-time touch needs, even dietary needs, is something that we excel at because we're used to feeding those large groups. We don't purchase our products. We're not ready to feed that 1, 2, 3, 4. Like the people are enjoying curbside service from a lot of your local restaurants right now. We are designed to do group gatherings. And we're excited. I want to throw this in, Brian. We're going to be working with Stop 345 with the opening of the city coming. And we are going to be putting a grand reopening party together for that venue. And it looks like sometime in August. We'll know more next week.
Excellent. So all the viewers out there, if you are a part of a group like that is on the front line and you guys are still open and you guys are still doing things, reach out to 901 Catering, because your groups are all going to need food, and you definitely don't want people traveling here, there, and everywhere. So use 901 Catering and take advantage of the fact that they are familiar with this. They know how to do that as a very protected way to serve you and to get some really, really great food. I've tried some of it, some really, really great food to your employees, especially those in the hospitals and those kind of things. Reach out to 901 Catering. And how do we get in contact with you, Laura?
We're easy to find, 901catering.com. The phone number is 901-730-1817, but 901catering.com. Everything that you need to know and get in contact with us, including some of our menus, are available there to take a look at.
Wonderful. Well, Laura Lee, thank you for joining us tonight and being our commercial highlight, and we will talk to you next time.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time, Brian. Have a great evening.
Bless you. And we're back. We're back to our show. We've got two pastors and a guest. We got amazing guests tonight. We got 3 teachers on the line, 3 that are probably the most dedicated teachers, some of the most dedicated teachers I've heard of, and it became their life more than just something they do. So let's get back to the discussion here. And Pastor Charles, you had some questions there just before the break.
Oh, yes. Well, I was going to say, well, we already know because of them being teachers, it's definitely not about the financial part of it, because we already know because of what they do. They definitely don't pay them enough. They couldn't even pay them enough because they couldn't even pay them for the heart they have toward what they're doing and how they look at it. But on the other hand, also, you know, I just like to know, you know, on the financial part of it, I know it's affecting everybody. But you know, what are you all? How have it affected you all to the point where? And I'm asking this question because I know that a lot of y'all, because I saw, you know, you all do it, takes your own money out of your own pocket when it comes to helping buying stuff for the school for your students. I saw you do it. So how have that affected that part?
Well, as far as you know, as you stated, we take our money out to buy whatever child needed, to pay for lunches if they need it, whatever they needed. If they felt comfortable enough to come to you, whatever they needed, we would give it to them.
Right.
Now that we're not in school, we're saving.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Now that you're in school, what are the kids doing that I've heard this thing about children not being able to eat over the weekend because there was just no food, so they would eat during the week, and that would pretty much sustain them. And so there was supplement stuff that went out to them. So what do you think is going on now with the kids?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on in my county.
Mm-hmm.
The school bus, you know, we are 100%, our students are 100% bus to school.
Okay.
So every child has a community bus stop where they walk to in order to go to school in the morning.
Okay.
Okay.
That same bus runs Mondays and Thursdays with 4
Still?
lunches.
It operates now?
They bring them lunch for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday they come, and they give them Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday lunch.
Wow.
So they are guaranteed 1 meal.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Wow. Wow.
And that is at no cost to them.
Right.
Although now that we've been hearing of things happening in the food industry where some people have been coming up positive, they're giving items that have not been opened. They're not touched by, you know, like Crustables, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you know, they are pre-wrapped.
Right.
So they're bringing things that are pre-wrapped that have not touched the hand or the gloves of someone.
Okay.
Wow.
For safety precautions, potato chips and just things of that, but they bring enough for the 4 days, and hopefully that they can ration it out to themselves. And if it's multiple children in the house, all of the children are going to that school, the same school system, so it's for each child.
Ah, amen. That is amazing. I didn't even know that was happening.
Yes.
Hey, Mama, tell me, you guys are all so dedicated, and your hearts are obviously in it to a different level. It's not a job. It's something else.
It's
Can
a
you tell
love.
me
Yes.
how'd you get into
It's
this?
a life.
Is this something that maybe God led you to do? Is this something that, how in the world did you get into this?
Well, Brian, all my life I said, I got into education as a late age, but I've always watched my sister, Mattye. She started from high school. After she graduated from high school, went to college and became a teacher. But at that particular time, she was kind of having a hard time, you know, disciplining kids, because she wanted all of them to make an A. And if they didn't, she felt some kind of way, felt like something she did wrong. And she was having a hard time. So I always said I did not want to be a teacher.
You said that?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. God had direction for you though, didn't he?
It did. Once I got into the school system and, you know, start helping them to read or whatever, I just developed a passion.
Right.
And I went back to school, and I'm still in the school system, helping them as much as I could. And you said about the money part, I have a treat for them. You know, if they behavior is good, or if they pass the test, or answer questions, you give them a treat. You know, just to encourage them.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so right now I got treats at school that I need to go and get that I had for the students before we left. 'Cause,
Y'all make me want to be a kid again.
Ah,
Yeah.
and also, Brian, I guess, you know, whenever when they're acting up,
Mhm.
you know, and not acting their best, I would tell one of them, I said, you know what? You need to go home with me for a week.
Mm.
And then the others do, I want to go. But, you know, I just miss them. I just like to, Barbara say, I miss the interaction with them. Because
So
I
you guys do
love.
an online thing as well then? Barbara, are you guys, are the students able to use this Zoom and these other things? Are they is that working?
They are. Yes, we're using Zoom and we're using different things.
And it's working, like you guys, and you guys get to see the students that way.
Yeah, but we can see them, but all the parents do not have access to internet and computers.
Yeah.
So they only maybe like, even I have 24 students, but I can only interact, but on Zoom I can only interact with maybe like 4 or 5 of them.
Oh, at a time.
And that's
Or
no, just total, because they don't have access to internet, even though we have a cable company who gives them free internet for 3 months. But if they don't have don't have the computers, iPads or whatever, phones, mom is at work, so they just don't get that interaction with them.
So what is this is this what they're considering? I'm just your pieces, but is this the end of their school year? But if they're working like this with you, maybe it's not, right?
No, it's not. We're still working with them, and they can go to the building. They can pick to any building, and we have like different packets fixed up for them to go where if they don't have access to the computers or iPads, they can work on different things at home.
I see.
And our district as well, for 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, they can come up to the school between 11:30 and 1 o'clock, and they can pick up meals for the students.
So this is for all three of you, whoever wants to answer. This isn't setting the students back. So there's not going to be a grade, chain, level, any of that, right? It's just, they don't have to make this time up or any of that.
No, they don't have to make the time up.
Okay.
The state is taking care of all of that. They have, we don't have to do, because even in kindergarten, we do state tests.
Yeah.
But they don't have to do any testing. They're just working, just do the work that we give them. We work with them on Zoom or whatever. There are different programs too that we use, but also do the work that we have for them. And that, that's along with the grading from the first to third 9 weeks.
So
but it's not setting, I don't think it's setting them back.
Okay. Now the people behind the scene that really don't see and know, and even some of them don't even seem to understand, what you all really do and y'all important role for real, because how sometimes you got even some parent, they just send their kid to school, their child to school, and that's pretty much the end of it. But you all have to deal with them all the time, and the ones that's like I said, that they don't really see what's really going on, and a lot of times they misunderstand you all as teachers. What would you all say, to them at this point that they can help them to kind of understand some things that they really not understanding, and maybe to help them as the school year progresses again and come back in to really see y'all from a whole different level and anger, than they've been seeing y'all from?
Well,
Go ahead, Maddie. You got something on that?
I say, and I've been speaking with parents, I'm in a small community, and majority of the parents know me and the children as well, the students as well. because I work with the athletic part of the district as well. So I'm with them, not just educational, but the athletic part. They see a greater appreciation of teaching than they had before, ever before in their lives. They did not realize that the magnitude that the teachers were doing while their children was there those 7 hours.
Right.
Now they are seeing that they are having to be parent, teachers, and disciplinary, and the principals and all the counselors and everything that they were taking for granted because their child got it when they left home. So once they came back home, all they had to do was help them with homework. Now they're beginning to see just what a day of education is like in their child's life.
Wow.
They have said so. I appreciate teachers more now. I get to know what they are. And
Right.
when I don't see how they put up with this child that long, you know,
Yeah.
those kinds of things.
Right.
So I'm just knowing when we come back, we're going to have what the good Lord intended for us to have, because education is a triangle. It's the teacher, the child, and the parent. And when the parent, as Barbara said, they're working, trying to provide and do the best that they could, they're going to come back now. And that side of that figure is going to make a triangle, because they're going to come back now hands-on. They're going to be more, I feel, because this is what God had for us. This is the tradition for families. So now we're going to come back and make this education a family venture instead of the teacher.
Okay.
Well, let's look
And
at the
also,
three
Brian,
of them. Yeah, go ahead, Mom.
Also, I think it would build a relationship between the teacher and the parent,
Yeah.
because a lot of parents don't understand the assignments, and then they can call on the teacher for help.
Right.
And the teacher is willing to help them because it's for the student. So like I say, if they don't understand, they build a relationship with the teacher, and they both can work together and help that student succeed.
That's great.
Can I be a parent a minute?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on the parent role. I'm giving 2 minutes. I'm on the parent side now. I have a grandson in the house that I had to homeschool.
All right.
So that means everything came to me the same way it went out to the other parent. And if I had not structured his day because of my understanding and compassion of teaching, I don't know that he would have done as well. He had a structured day.
Okay.
You know, this is what you did at this time, and that time, not just get up and do it when you want to.
Okay.
So it was just like another school day at home. So when I needed help, I reached out to those teachers via email or phone number, because I have all of their cell phone numbers, and they were so willing to help.
Wow.
They poured out to. They were so apt. They were eager to help me to understand how to help him.
And structure is a really important thing, I guess, during, you know, in the education side, but also kids, don't they crave structure most of the time?
That's what they want.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, I'm foreseeing this, though, is if you look at all three of y'all's attitudes and your level of calmness, and you just, you know, you act like teachers, like real teachers. And I got a feeling when all this is back to normal and the kids are allowed to go back to school, you're going to have about every other parent coming up and hugging you so tight, thanking you for all that you guys have done, because they just didn't appreciate it, I don't think, sometimes until now. And I've heard a lot of people, a lot of parents talk to me trying to say how stressed out they are right now, trying to be, you know, mom and dad, but also trying to be the teacher, but also trying to be the one, the disciplinarian, and also the one trying to set a structure, and all these things they just weren't used to doing, because it was basically on the responsibility on your shoulders to do a lot of that. So I want to thank you and just pat you on the back. I got a feeling it's this little adventure that we're on right now is really going to open some eyes.
Yes.
I got one more topic I want y'all to hit on real quick. A little bit controversial in a way, but you know, it seems like more and more we're not allowed to use the word God in school or prayers or things like that. And I, as a pastor, of course, I think it's too bad that we don't have that time. Like when I was younger, we actually had a prayer in the morning. That's just what we did. And God was kind of a part of it. I know it wasn't the PC thing, but God was a part of the school structure. He was. And if you didn't believe in that kind of thing, you had the rights to kind of bow out of that. But I see that a lot today in certain schools. We go work in schools because Charles and I, we work with Saving Lost Kids, and that's a ministry that works on missing, exploited, and sex trafficking. So we get to go into the schools, especially elementary, a lot to work with the students. And that's one of the things that we always are hoping to bring to the table is at least a godly perspective. You know, maybe we're not allowed to pray with them, but we can at least bring a godly perspective. Can y'all tell me how important you think God is, the necessity of having God in the schools? Is it, and what y'all think of that? So, who wants to hit that one?
Well, I can say God is very important in the schools. I'm sorry, can you not hear me?
Yes, we can.
We hear you.
Okay. God is very important in the schools. We, myself, I just have, I pray before I go. You know, we can't pray in schools, but like you said, we can do things in the classroom to make them aware. But more importantly, though, it comes from their home. Because when my kids are small, some of them don't even know they don't even have an idea. So I would have to pray for each child, you know, and just for the school as a whole, you know, even before I go. But God is very important because we can't do anything without Him.
That's right.
We have to allow Him to order our steps.
Yes.
You know, so we'll be able to help them. So.
Oh, yes.
Wow. Well, I agree. I know it's not the normal to be able to say those things. I do wish that, excuse me, some schools would be open to allowing some prayer time, or maybe some, just not be so resistive to it. So, but
Mr. Brian.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to speak on my school. I'm going to the administrative part of my life now.
Okay.
And at my school, we had a clergy day. That's a day that the pastors, these children pastors can come out, meet with them, eat lunch with them, and any of their friends who don't have pastors could volunteer and be with them.
Wow.
We did that once a month.
How'd that go? Did that work out?
That went very well. We did. You believe it or not, there's children that want to know about this God that the other kids are talking about. And we encourage them to know, don't pull back because they don't know your God. Teach them your God. Yes, don't just act like you don't know him because they don't know him. They want something. They see you light up. They see things going well in your life. They want to know what's making you tick.
And I love
other than this education you're getting. So open up and let them know. Invite them to your churches and invite them to your when your pastor comes out. And that worked very well.
Wow.
So it was a once a month thing that you did.
We did it once a month. And the system, we did it in our school. They could go to the conference room and meet with them. They could go to lunch with them. They could go to class with them. We had open doors for them, just like you all go into the school. Their pastors could come anytime. As a matter of fact, when my grandson tried to act up one time, my pastor went, my assistant pastor went, my husband went, who's a pastor, I went, who is a minister, and his dad. It takes a village to raise a child. When he saw that all these people, when they see that people care about them, they'll shape up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I really do, and I know sometimes we can't go in and just say, you know, we can't just bombard it because it is a separation of school and church. But we can whisper in their ears. When the teacher sent a child to me for misbehavior, I had that child get on. I said, "Look, you sing me a song." And these are children, you know, I get to know them. This is the one that sing at their church and they go to church. I said, now, how do you think your pastor would feel if he found out you were in my office misbehaving?
Ooh, oh.
And it's just a one-on-one thing. And that helped to shape those kids up.
That's wonderful. That's
I
wonderful.
love
And
that.
also,
That's wonderful. Mama, you got anything you like to add to that?
yes, I talk to them without using the word of God. I said, like, if they come to me and say, this person is talking about me, or this person is bothering me, I would just tell them, I said, now you all, it's in the classroom, you're here 7 hours with each other. You should be one happy family.
Right.
You should be a family. You should love each other. Don't talk about each other. Then I also tell them, what you do to others, it's going to be done to you.
Okay.
You know, I just said, you learn to treat each other nice and love each other. You know, I just, without saying God, I just give them some wisdom.
Some very smart wisdom there, Mama. That's great. Got one more quick question for y'all, unless you got one, Charles.
No, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
So I got one more quick question. We got about 5 minutes before we have to wrap up. But so the technology thing is out there, right? So kids can pick up an iPad and figure out how to do that by the age of what, 2? They got to figure it out.
They're doing that. They're doing that before they walk.
Before they walk it. Okay. So let me ask you. So number one, is that a good idea? Is it a good teaching tool to use things like iPads? Number two, if it is, what's some good apps that parents, now that they have their kids at home, can recommend for their kids that would help them, maybe in reading, maybe in some other things, math or whatever? What's some good things that they, like an app or something like that? Do you guys know those by any chance?
Well, the one I fell in love with for is teaching them how to read is Starfall. Starfall.com. It would teach them to read. It would read to them, but would pronounce the word as they go along, and they learn how to maneuver through that app very quickly, because some of them have helped me with it.
Well, first step to that then is, do you like the app logic of using devices like iPads for teaching?
Yes.
So some people are suggesting that their kids are too much into technology and they need to take the phones away and the iPads away. I personally would think, well, instead of taking them away, just change the content.
How to use it.
Discipline, and you discipline with them. You allow them so much time on that computer.
So my nephews came over, and they were wanting to be on the iPads all the time. Like all the time they want to be on the iPad. So what we did to switch that is said, okay, if you're on the iPads, you have to do a game that teaches you something, not just driving a car around. Now you got to drive a car around, but it catches on the letters so that you can spell the word to the whatever or something. Some kind of game that teaches you something. Yes. And that way you're at least doing something constructive. Do you guys like that logic?
I do. Yeah. When my grandson was learning to read, he had a little notepad and a pencil everywhere we went. And I gave him, I say, every word that you see and you recognize, you write it down. And so when you get home, then I had some rewards to give him. And then we would take those words and try and put them into sentences. Because he was wanting to read early on. So I had to think of some way, because Barbara helped me a lot, but she was in Mississippi and I'm in Georgia. We just had to come up with some strategies to keep him wanting to read and learn how to read. So because he believed in what Dr. Seuss said. He said the more places he can just go places without bodily going. He can go mentally from the knowledge that he's received from reading. He can be over in the third world country reading about what they're doing. So that's like I'm there.
So to help the parents out there, Barbara, I want to ask you one more. So it seems like what he could be hearing you say, it's more than just disciplining the child and forcing them to read. It's more about getting them interested in reading.
Right.
Is that right?
Exactly. We have to do things to motivate them. And that, again, it comes in, sometimes we spend our own money, buying lit things to motivate them, or as teaching tools, and it is, they have to want to read, know the importance of reading. And in kindergarten, we try to do things to make them they want to love reading, So, it is. It's important.
Expound more on I read it, because the teacher can develop a lesson
Right.
for the students, and they could do it at home, right?
We could go in and we have our standards, and we could go in and assign lessons for them, and the parents go online and they do assignments, and you know, they after they finish the assignment, the grade it'll come up and show them what they've made on that assignment. You know, so it's like a reinforcement, and when you finish one, it gets higher and higher. You know, if you master this, then it goes a step further. You know, so I read it is good, you know.
And for middle and high school, they have USA Test Prep. They the teachers put it out there, and they go and take the test. Then whatever they miss, they go back and click on that. It explains to them what went wrong, you know, how they should have done it. Then they can go back and retake that, and they can print it and make them a notebook if they want to.
And I read it does the same thing.
Yeah, that's the elementary part. Yeah.
Right.
Technology is good in its own way, Brian.
What's that?
Technology is good, like we say.
I think it's inevitable. You have to. It's not. You're not going to stop it, and you're not going to discourage them. So you might as well take it and do something good with it.
That's right.
We're living in a technological society and world. We need to teach them how to live in this world. Like we're living in this world, but not of the world. But if this technology is what's going to drive them, we need to teach them how to use it effectively.
Wow. You're smart and wonderful. Well, I want to thank you guys, Pastor Charles and I would just want to thank you guys for coming on the show, two pastors and a guest. I want to thank you for being such great guests on the show, teaching us some great stuff. We got Miss Erma, Miss Mattye, and Miss Barbara, all teachers, and you've gotten us, I think, all the viewers a little step closer to knowing what to do and feeling a little bit more comfortable about where they are right now. And bless you and thank you. I think Pastor Charles is going to vote that if anybody in the audience is having problems with their child, he's happy to give his cell phone number. You just give him a call. What you think? That's good, Charles?
Hey, look here. Thing about it is that I have no problem with that, but in the same token, they might not want to talk to me. They want to talk to the teacher, to the experts, you know.
Oh, I see. I just wasn't going to put them under the bus.
Experts, because I can only but we just heard it from the experts themselves, you know, and I'm glad we got this opportunity to have them on here, because I just wanted people to understand some things that they probably haven't been and don't understand about the educators, you know, that they've been seeing it a different way. More people see now that, guess what? It's more so about the love of these teachers that they have for your children. So stop worrying and thinking that, you know, you don't want your child to go to this school and this teacher's that. And, you know, because kids can come home and tell their parent one thing, but they don't realize what the teacher got to go through and what they got to deal with. So teachers are being parent while they're at their school, and it's really helping them. So I just wanted this to be put out there so people can understand that teachers are really parents.
Wonderful. Well, love you guys. Bless you guys. And
thanks for having us.
All the viewers, we will see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock. It's our Friday special. So we will see you Friday right here, Facebook Live, YouTube Live tomorrow at 7. Y'all have a blessed day.
God bless you. Right now.
Top of the world, must be in heaven. Look what I found, you're like a falling star that shines all around. Though we've been near and we've been far, there's no place like being in love. And baby, that's where we are.